Oil change in a BMW M4 F32 generation. Yes, the Germans make fine automobiles, but they also like their hockey pucks. You'll need to get these adapters for your jacking points because there is a little slot here. And some Yahoo before me very clearly did not use these hockey puck adapters to lift their car. This is a lift point, probably placed there to prevent you from scratching the underbody. So, chalk your wheels and start lifting the car using the adapter. Then, like me, you'll realize that you just lifted the whole half of the car. So I switched the sides for chalking the wheels. Moving on, you can either use jack stands or I just put the car back down on some ramps and lowered the jack. Now we pop the hood to the glorious S55 engine and open up the oil cap. I couldn't bust it loose, so I had to use my strong hand, I guess. I don't know. And remember how earlier in the video I warmed up the engine? This is key because it'll help the oil flow. You'll need to grab a container for all the oil that's gonna come gushing right out of this car. And you're either gonna have a 17mm hex bolt or an 8mm Allen key bolt. If your M4 was manufactured before July 2014, you'll have the Allen key, which does need to be replaced every time you do an oil change. Filming and working is fun. If you have the 17mm plug, then all you need to replace is the copper gasket. Oh look, my fat ass just shifted the camera. Once you undo the plug, it'll come gushing out quickly. I like to actually hold up the plug with my hand and keep the oil at bay, and then once it's loose, just pop it out real quick, as to avoid spilling it on my hand. Once it's all drained, don't forget to put your oil plug back in. Torque it to 25 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds. Now put your oil cap back in, because we don't want any gunga to be falling into this engine now, would we? We line the engine with some paper towels, preferably machine shop towel. And now there is a special socket that exists to remove this oil filter, but I'm a caveman, so I'm using this universal vice grip oil filter remover, and the towel was there to prevent marring. This sucker is quite difficult to unscrew, so it takes quite a bit of force. And then the towels are of course there to prevent any oil from spilling all over your engine. You know, we can't always be buying them fancy specific tools with the whatevers. Anywho, the oil filter just pops out, and now we need to also replace 2 rubber gaskets, or I should say O-rings. Now I'm using this O-ring remover, but it's metallic and that housing is plastic, so that's probably not the best idea. There is a plastic O-ring remover that you can buy that's probably preferable to use in this situation. Then we put the new O-rings on and we give them a nice dab of oil over them to create a better seal. Same thing for that smaller O-ring, and then we replace the filter. The filter just pops in, push it in until it bottoms out. It makes a nice clicking sound. Then screw it in from the top, and again, this does take a considerable amount of force to twist, but keep twisting it until it bottoms out. This also gets torqued to 25 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds, or in my case, I'm not really measuring, just I give it maybe 1 extra eighth turn. Now we remove the oil cap and we add the oil. I bought quote-unquote genuine BMW 5W30 oil, and this engine takes 6.5 liters of oil. So that's going to be 6 of these containers plus half of a 7th one, which roughly speaking in freedom units would be 6.5 quarts. Oil cap back on, and we are almost home free. We just gotta reset that computer. Climb on in and press that start button, but don't have your foot on the brake or the clutch. We don't want to actually start the engine. The service due thing will flash, and now just press and hold that button there on the left until a little prompt pops up. Says, hey, reset is possible. Very good. Let go of the button. Now press and hold it again. Then it'll say reset ? And you will press and hold that button yet again. Once you see reset in progress, you can let go of the button and reset successful. Don't worry about it until another 10,000 miles. Congratulations, you just saved yourself $80 from the dealer. And if you want to get really fancy, you can navigate to Vehicle Info in iDrive, go to Vehicle Status, and then you can measure the oil level but you have to be on a level surface, which I am not, so I guess I will just have to do this later. Thank you for watching, and you can go right back to never using your turn signals.